Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Libations number 144. My name is Jake Green, joined as usual by Zane, Placie, and Nick Ciesielski, with a possible Stephen Hilton lurking somewhere in the background. Hopeful, possible, probably not. We'll just say, we'll go with that. All right, Zane, what are you drinking, man?
Shock Top.
Very basic. Love it. Nick, what do you got?
I've got the other can of the hard Mountain Dew.
Oh my gosh.
That I bought. So we're doing that. And on the side, I've got the same beer as last week that's made down the road from John Fetterman's house.
So when you say the other bottle of the Mountain Dew, do they sell them in 2-packs, or you just bought 2 of them?
It was like a 2-for deal whenever I was there, 2 for however much. So I grabbed 2 cans of them.
All right. What's up, Grumpy?
So you want to know my favorite thing about Hard Mountain Dew, which is obviously Mountain Dew the soda, was named after Mountain Dew the moonshine. And so now we have Hard Mountain Dew the soda. It's essentially the Dino Nuggets meme where the dino evolves into the chicken nugget, and then into the dino shaped chicken nugget. It's the moonshine becomes the non-alcoholic soft drink, and then they put alcohol in it again.
That's funny. I had no idea.
To be fair, the non-alcoholic soft drink was supposed to be the mixer for actual moonshine, and this I think would still serve that purpose.
That would serve that purpose with a punch. Circle of Life, Grumpy says. I had no idea Mountain Dew was named after a moonshine. Moonshine.
Mountain Dew is a nickname, just a general nickname for moonshine.
I had no idea till you just enlightened me. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I guess it comes from Prohibition days.
Yeah.
I would
know
say
Appalachia very much.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Well, I'm on my very, very last little bit of Ardbeg. I didn't realize how little was in my bottle, and when I pulled up to the house, became very sad when I'm only going to have basically half of what I normally drink on these shows. So we'll have to make it last. We'll have to have good conversations so I forget to drink. That's basically what it comes down to. Exactly. All right, y'all. It's been an interesting week in the world of politics and culture. We're going to start off with Mr. Trump himself.
Tylenol.
Now keep in mind, this is an announcement that's so important that he had to take a 10-minute diversion from Charlie Kirk's eulogy to talk about it. So just keep that in mind.
Tylenol during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary. That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that. It's a small number of cases, I think. But if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but it'll be very sparingly. It can be something that's very dangerous to the woman's health. In other words, a fever that's very, very dangerous, and ideally a doctor's decision, because I think you shouldn't take it. And you shouldn't take it during the entire pregnancy. They may tell you that toward the end of the pregnancy, you shouldn't take it during the entire. And you shouldn't give the child the Tylenol every time he's born and he goes and has a shot. You shouldn't give a Tylenol to that child. All pregnant women should talk to their doctors for more information about limiting the use of this medication while pregnant. So ideally, you don't take it at all. But if you can't tough it out, or if there's a problem, you're going to end up doing it.
Did he prepare for this press conference at all?
I don't think so.
He just didn't read what was in front of him, man. That was so painful. I, okay, so the gist of it is, I guess there was some study that indicated that pregnant women should not take Tylenol because it increases the risk of autism in the child. I have no idea if this is true. I don't know what study they're citing. I think, Trump came to this completely unprepared, kind of like I came to this topic completely unprepared. Like I have no idea if any of this is true.
I think there was a Harvard study on it, and I think a couple other studies indicated it.
Tylenol making libertarians since 1955.
Now, the thing to remember is they have not established a causal link or anything like that, right? That what they've established is an association.
Yeah,
and saying, hey, it's probably better for the health of your child to if you maybe not take this, and that has resulted in a whole bunch of from my understanding a whole bunch of lefties trying to prove him wrong by downing a bunch of Tylenol.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
A bad idea, and like I don't like if I take anything, I take like ibuprofen, and I don't know if you can take that when you're pregnant, but that's not a problem that I have. But acetaminophen is quite dangerous. I mean, it's processed by the liver. Like if you drink with it, it can end badly. Like it's some scary stuff as far as over the counter. So
and to be clear, this is Tylenol from 2017. We actually don't recommend using any of our products while pregnant. Thank you for taking the time to voice your concerns today. So that was from 8 years ago. They posted that. But y'all, this is going to be a weird little segue. But in the middle of this topic, we're going to go to Drunkard.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, 19th blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right, welcome to Drunkard of the Week, where we showcase somebody doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. You can nominate folks through X by tagging us at Liberty Libation or using hashtag Drunkard of the Week, or joining our Discord over on the website, peacefulseed.network. You can submit nominations there. This week, as Nick already pointed out,
I'm not as think as you drunk I am.
all right, she is not the only one. There are compilations of so many women just having such extreme TDS that they cannot help themselves but to just immediately do what Donald Trump says not to do.
Joke's on them when they give birth and it's a bunch of new libertarians.
Exactly.
I'm just waiting for the joke's been floating around there on Twitter, but Donald Trump saying to that he loves oxygen or something. That way they just all quit breathing, right? It seems like we're at that point where if like I mentioned, anything with Tylenol, high doses of it, extended use of it's really, really not good. The use with alcohol.
Nick needs to stop.
I'm ahead of
our
things.
next segments.
Well, it is my complete honor and privilege to make this endorsement. I've got along with very well with oxygen. I call it air. Some people call it O2. I call it oxygen air. It's a beautiful thing, but I'm endorsing breathing. We love to breathe. It's a tremendous practice in and out. I went to the doctor, and my doctor looked at me. He said, "Sir, you have the most beautiful lungs. They're so big. They're so beautiful. They inflate. They deflate. They're wonderful. In and out. Nobody's ever seen lungs like this before, sir." So I said, "Now's a beautiful day. to endorse oxygen. We love breathing, right? And you have these stupid people on the left, very stupid, very sick. These are very sick people. You're not a sick person, but they're very sick people. And they're going to hear me endorse it, right? They're going to hear me say, oh, Donald Trump likes to breathe. You know who else breathed? Hitler. Hitler breathed. And they're going to hold their breath. And that's what we're hoping for. We're looking at it. So we are endorsing air. It's a tremendous thing. We want you to breathe as much of it as possible. Big, beautiful, clean air. And keep doing that. As long as you live, keep breathing that beautiful air. It's a tremendous thing to do. Thank you so much. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Thank you.
The hilarious thing about his Tylenol press conference was I think he might still remember that one time during his first presidency where he started riffing about hydroxychloroquine or something right at the beginning of lockdown, and then some dumb guy drank fishbowl cleaner and died, and then his wife blamed it on Trump. So I think because here's the thing, Trump cannot help himself from riffing. So no matter what happens, he's going to riff. But you can see how slowly he was doing it in the Tylenol press conference. And I think he knows on medical issues maybe to not riff as fast as usual.
Yeah, well, he got it for that, and he got it on whenever he talked about the they said that he wants you to drink bleach or something to cure COVID.
Yep, the bleach one did a lot too. Yeah. I mean,
which wasn't an accurate portrayal of really what he said or what he was getting at, but that's kind of the narrative that floated out there.
No, but to be fair, what the heck is Trump ever saying? Honestly, the dude can't follow a single line in a conversation or monologue.
Yeah, his riffing always comes down to tremendous, terrible. He just goes off on one way or the other on it, depending on what it is.
Well, it's like if a normal president was giving this press conference, I would not expect him to be an expert in the Tylenol research, because that's why he has his HHS secretary or all the other people under him that actually do the work and then give him the speech to read. But the thing is, he can't help himself from riffing, but because he knows absolutely nothing about the topic, his riff doesn't make any sense. When he's on the stump and he's just talking about the issues that everybody talks about all the time, like immigration or the economy or whatever, at least when he riffs it is comprehensible because he at least understands that topic enough to talk about it. But you're saying you're going to give the speech about a medical research paper, and he's like, all right, I still need the riff. Uh-oh. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the better, more comedic press conferences that we've seen from him recently. But to get back to the actual, topic of Tylenol, here's a video showing some class action lawsuit stuff from 2023.
Fox Business Alert, take a look at shares of Kenvue. They are up about 1.6%. Kenvue is the consumer products unit J&J spun off back in August. Shares hitting a one-month high at this hour after it received a favorable court ruling related to a class action lawsuit. The lawsuit claimed that exposure to Tylenol during pregnancy caused birth disorders. The federal judge in the case issued an order that will not allow the plaintiffs to present evidence for a link between prenatal exposure to Tylenol and autism or ADHD. JP Morgan added Kenvue to its focus list, saying the ruling effectively collapses the plaintiff's case in this litigation.
Basically a federal judge blocked the evidence from being presented.
I think if you look, for one of the first comments on this was mentioning that this judge, is the one who blocked Doge from accessing databases at the Office of Personnel Management.
That sounds about right.
So, and that's really, really weird to me that, hey, we think we have a link here. We'd like to present, the evidence and say, hey, we think this is causing an issue. And the judge goes, nah, you don't get the evidence. You don't get to present the evidence.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I don't understand the legal argument for not allowing evidence to be presented in a court case.
Not in a civil litigation like this, when you have studies and things like that, where you can put it to a jury and try it. Like, in a criminal court case, and it's obtained through prosecutorial malfeasance, police, whatever. Yes, of course, there's a reason why evidence shouldn't come in at that point. But
so I'm not familiar with that particular lawsuit, but I will just say in general, there's a big problem, especially in the U.S., with plaintiffs that just like groups of lawyers that go around just trying to look for any random group of people to represent in order so that they can become a plaintiff in a frivolous lawsuit. So, especially in these civil cases, there are a lot of hoops you have to jump through just to prove that you should be able to bring the case, period. And a lot of it, like the legit reason for that is we've got to make sure people don't just bring frivolous lawsuits over ridiculous nonsense. The problem is that it can also be used to bog down cases where you have a legitimate case and there are some vested interests that don't want anything to be brought to light. But that is the reason why there is rulings like this, where it's not even saying anything about the merits of the case, but just procedurally, we're going to stop this before it even gets started.
Right. This wasn't saying we're stopping the case because we think it's frivolous. This is saying I'm not letting in your evidence, which, is likely coming from one of probably multiple places that have done studies on it and thought there's a chance that there's a link there. Like I said, I think Harvard had studies on it. Like there's multiple studies that are saying, hey, there might be something here. And, you're supposed to be able to kind of get together and prove that out. And if a jury believes it and believes that you caused harm, then you owe the people for the harm you caused. I mean, that's as libertarian as it comes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't have too much more to say on this topic. I think it's if you're out there taking Tylenol out of spite for Donald Trump, you have barely two brain cells rubbed together. Like that's pathetic and sad, and I feel sorry for you and your family. That's go ahead, Nick.
I caught one video. It seemed to have been referenced in some other videos of at least one person apparently who overdosed on Tylenol while pregnant already from this. I can't get any sort of independent verification of it. This is, some lady who's saying, hey, I was contacted by the husband of this woman who is now in a coma and is probably not going to make it. So, I mean, you can just, the acetaminophen, you can just destroy your liver with it. And so. Also,
if you're going to do that, if you're going to try to just troll Donald Trump or rebel in your dumb way, how about just one Tylenol? That's not going to do anything to you. Like it makes no sense to take like 4, 5, 6, a ton of them just to spite Donald Trump.
If only this person had listened to Liberty Libations before doing this, they would have known.
I don't know. I'm sure we have a bunch of liberals who watch this show. No. Yeah, it just blows my mind. I just don't understand the impulse. Like I don't care for authority just as much as any other libertarian, but so many of the people who posted said, I believe in science, not Donald Trump. Well, he's literally quoting science.
Well, this is the crazy thing. The research on things that cause autism is so fraught with people calling each other conspiracy theorists that the fact that there are studies being published in legit journals and even Tylenol themselves saying that they don't encourage people taking it while they're pregnant.
Yeah.
The fact that there would be that on this topic where it's so easy to like have people call you an idiot is actually strong evidence that there's some there. Because if it weren't actually legit, then why would you even bother publishing the paper that might actually hurt your reputation by people calling you a conspiracy theorist? Now, I'm not claiming that we know for a fact that there's evidence here. Like, I think it's rather unfortunate that we're in a position where, regardless of what either side has to say about it, it doesn't actually help us determine whether it's true or not. It's like whatever Donald Trump says is essentially independent of whether or not it's true. And whatever everyone with TDS says about it is also more or less independent of whether or not it's actually true, which is an unfortunate place to be in, but that's where we are.
That is where we are.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, the thing to consider here is that, autism rates have been going up insanely over the past several decades. And I don't have the exact numbers on hand, but I mean, it's an insane increase from like 1 in 1,000 or something like that back in like the 70s up to like 1 in 20, 1 in 30 boys or something. Like, there's obviously something going on somewhere, whether that's, and honestly, my opinion is it's probably a variety of different factors. But, any kind of chemical you're putting in your body, like I said, the Tylenol, acetaminophen is hard on the liver. You put that in your body, that gets into a baby's bloodstream. Does that, in development, does that cause any issues there? Is there, there's so much you have to be worried with. There could be very much a combination of chemicals in the food system, chemicals in the, chemicals coming from over-the-counter medicine that, to a normal healthy person is just fine, but to a baby, anything like that is devastating to the system.
I got some numbers for you, Nick. So disclaimer, some of this could just be because they didn't know how to diagnose autism at the time. But 0.001% of births in 1931 were autistic. In 1970, that had risen to 0.05, and now it is 2.8, which is a massive increase. 2040, almost 60 times increase since 1970. So I mean, that's a substantial number. Whether or not it's
that's more than just we didn't know how to diagnose it at the time.
Correct. Now, what percentage of that is due to Tylenol? I don't think we'll ever know that. But like, if you combine all these different medications that people have been taking over the past 70 years and increasing those medications over time, I don't know. Anything you inject into your body seems like it has a risk of some sort. It has a negative side effect. So I'm no doctor. I couldn't tell you, but I would just say, do your research and figure out what's good for you specifically, because medicine is not a one size fits all science.
And
so I would say that differences in reporting, especially on autism, probably are making a significant difference here, because I mean, especially in 1930, but even in 1970 to an extent, I think there are a lot of people today that would be diagnosed with mild autism that in 1970 or especially 1930 would just have been considered like a little bit weird. So it's not even that they didn't know how to diagnose it. It's that they would not have even considered that there was an issue with someone that now is being considered mild autism. Now, I don't think that accounts for the entire difference. I certainly think there could be some other things at play here, but I think
there's a little bit to that. But when you talk about, the nonverbal, the nonverbal autism, the type that you need care for all your life. I mean, you have a little bit of that at older ages, but you don't see the massive numbers that you kind of see, the numbers that everyone's kind of more familiar with seeing around now. Yeah. Families with multiple autistic kids, things like that. That just wasn't a thing that you saw in, genetics, but there's a whole lot of factors into it, but there is, got to be some explanation somewhere. And we need to be asking those questions, because if you can figure out what, how to minimize that, that allows a child to develop and allow a child to develop normally and live a normal life versus, being besides turning it into, a thing a family's got to deal with for the rest of their life. Parents have to take care of them the rest of their life. Once the parents pass, figuring out what that care looks like, that ends up, as a burden to to society, because it will end up on, basically probably in a lot of cases being some sort of taxpayer funded Medicare, Medicaid sort of system taking care of all of that. And if you can determine what's the underlying cause and prevent any more of that, get those numbers coming down, that's only a good thing.
So I would be really interested to know the numbers on like nonverbal severe autism, because I do have to say, almost every single Discord channel that I'm in has been filled with memes this week about, the future of this group is not good because they're curing autism. And the joke being that everyone in this Discord is autistic, but that's clearly not what we're really talking about. I mean, obviously, there are lots of people that joke about having autism that really aren't on the spectrum at all. But even the people that are mildly, that's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't think that would have even registered with anyone 50 or 100 years ago.
Yeah. So the cursory search, 25 to 30% of individuals with autism are considered nonverbal or minimally verbal, meaning they can use fewer than 30 functional words. So there's your percentage.
No, I meant the rate of that over time.
Oh, like the rate of that over time.
1970 compared to now, because I think that's because that would be easier to diagnose 50 years ago. I think that would be a better indicator of if the rate overall is higher today than it was, or by how much.
Okay, let's see what Grok has to say about that.
While Jake's looking at that, I'll just also add onto something that he was saying earlier, which is, the very simple claim that medicine might have side effects. I think a lot of people are kind of under the impression that if a medicine has come out and they aren't already announcing what all the side effects are, that just means there are automatically no more side effects. And if you say there might be any, then you're a conspiracy theorist. But the thing is, even with medicines that have been being used for decades, we still have a very poor understanding with how they work. The most famous example of this being that Viagra, they introduced it because they were trying to make like a blood pressure medication. So they started giving it to people, and it didn't work to fix your blood pressure, but it did make you erect for reasons that they did not really understand. But they're like, well, I guess it does this, so now we're going to market this for ED. We don't really know why it works. We just know that it does. So then, and there are lots of other medicines like this where we know what it does, but we have a much poorer understanding of why it does what it does than you would think.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, we have a not very good understanding of what the possible side effects of this stuff might be, because we don't know how it works.
Yeah, that's completely fair. So it wasn't able to find data from the 70s for nonverbal, but it shows a rise from the year 2000 until now, from 27 per 10,000 to 46 per 10,000. So
nearly double.
So that's something. Yeah. And Elizabeth in the comments says there used to be a differentiation between Asperger's and autism. That is now politically incorrect. So all who are neurodivergent are lumped together as autism. Yeah. And then Grumpy says how many are just retarded. Oh man. Yeah, it's an interesting question. Not Grumpy's, just all of this and figuring out. I mean, yeah. Does Tylenol hurt? I don't know. I have no way of knowing any of that. I am not going to spend a lot of time researching that particular thing. I don't take Tylenol, so I don't really care. Yeah.
And none of us can get pregnant, so we don't have to worry about it.
Quit being sexist, Zane.
Too late.
Okay.
One last thing on that.
Yeah,
on
go
this.
for it.
I believe this press conference, I didn't watch it, but from what I've heard on it, it also dove into the big V question a little bit as well. Apparently there's, he kind of outlined that they wanted to ensure, any mercury was out of vaccines, any aluminum was out of vaccines.
Oh, wow.
Split up the MMR. I think possibly remove the recommendation for the Hep B.
Dang,
and
a lot of
some
stuff.
other stuff that seems to have been glossed over.
Everybody's
in favor
focusing on the
of
Tylenol.
And I think some of this other stuff was brought up in there too, that the administration's plan is to kind of change the recommendations on some of this stuff and
wow,
get some of that out. And that's, a lot of the things that when I saw, I was like, a lot of these are kind of the things people have pointed to. So maybe it's a step to see, if we switch some of this stuff up, if there's a real difference there.
That is interesting. I really wish I'd watched the whole press conference, but then I'm kind of also glad that I didn't, because an hour of Trump speaking like he would have killed me. Grumpy says, check the memes I just put in the Discord. Okay.
We're live, Grumpy. We're not in the Discord right now.
Yeah. I'll try to pull it up at some point, but let's move on to the next topic. All right. So there are these guys going around the country to college campuses. They're called, what are they called? Headgummit.
Isn't it the Fearless Tour?
Fearless Debate Tour. And they're basically doing what Charlie Kirk did, what Steven Crowder has done, what a whole bunch of people have done. Go to campuses, set up a table, and ask people to converse with them and debate with them. So here is one at, I believe it's Tennessee State University.
Yes, and I believe a university said that they were proud that their students acted civilly. And
so
we're going to find out.
Part of our systems is for people of color.
We're just going to watch a couple minutes of this.
The entire system is for everybody, anybody who's an American citizen. So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody is equal.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton. So, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But, so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you, do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist, because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you're talking about. So what's wrong with the system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would argue the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts, in addition to the 14th Amendment's equal protection clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding.
Did you ask me to pause it?
I did, because this happens with lefty debaters all the time, and I really do not understand how it keeps happening to them. Where they show up to these tables and claim that society is racist or sexist or transphobic or whatever, and then the conservative challenges them to provide one or two examples of that, and they're never able to do it. They just stand around in hem and haw and just say, well, it's the entire society, it's everything. It's the mind. You're going to be asked that question. How do you go up there to talk about this issue and not have any examples you want to talk about? Like, I can even you could just say that the drug war, disproportionately impacts Black people, which is true. You could name, I mean, in this case, they were asked for one, so even that would have been sufficient.
Right. You could have went to the crack cocaine versus powdered cocaine sentencing differences that existed there, and then you could get into how the CIA was smuggling the crack cocaine into the inner cities. But
I mean, I think it's safe to say that a libertarian would be much better at this debate than this guy who's debating them right now. Anyway, that's how it started, and this is what happened about 15 minutes in. All we did was set up a table. Just that people stole their signs, people took their stuff, people like banged on their car, people wouldn't let them leave.
Threw stuff at the car,
stuff at the car. Yeah, they blocked it with
It was just
car.
this giant tantrum, like you said, Tylenol tantrum. But I mean, this was an insane tantrum.
You know what's the most revealing thing about this?
What's that?
Is how many people in the mob have their phones out videoing. Like they clearly think that they are in the right and that they are going to be vindicated when people see the video that they are recording, not knowing that that very video is making them look like complete morons.
Yes. I mean, they started chanting Black Lives Matter for like a full 2 minutes, just chanting it, which
I don't think he ever contended that Black Lives didn't matter.
Yeah, not a single human was debating that on this campus that day. But yeah, they're doing some of these all around the United States. I've seen a few clips from it so far. They're mostly okay. They're not Charlie Kirk, but they're made to be. They're a little bit more inflammatory than that, Yeah, I mean their signs are definitely more provocative.
Yeah, deport all the illegals and make DEI illegal or something. I mean, nothing absurd, to be saying. Nothing that provokes a giant mob to have a tantrum.
Yeah.
It's like, did they learn nothing? Like, I don't think this probably would have happened, a month ago outside of the current context that we're in. And you would have thought that the left learned their lesson about not like celebrating political violence, but it would appear that at least on this campus, they're all even bolder than they were before.
Yeah.
Which is and making themselves look even worse.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
So, I mean, the video you just played there was a pretty calm one. The compilations I saw on it got pretty intense as far as
they did, yeah.
The sign stealing, at one point, my understanding on this, and at least the way they made it sound, was that the cops basically asked them to leave for their own safety. Because I was gonna say, I went and looked. I'm like, is Tennessee State a public university? And I looked, and yes, it is. So, if they were forced to leave by the cops, you're looking at a lawsuit. But the sign stealing, at one point they're yelling at them to leave, and then one of them get their car in front of them, and then
the cop is just standing there like, y'all cannot, like, what are the cops there for? They're stealing the signs, and he just watched him do it. I just don't get it.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if you're the cop in that situation, I mean, obviously theft is wrong, but if you're gonna make a big production out of trying to get somebody once they stole like a $2 paperboard sign, when that for a fact that that's just going to inflame the crowd and not going to be good for anyone, I can kind of understand the cops' reaction in that.
I wouldn't go tackle the person. I'd go stand in front of the signs for the time being.
Yeah, or when they take it, I'd say, hey, put it back now, or,
Here's the button.
But basically, this is just amounts to just a giant tantrum because they're being exposed to an idea. And I think the statement that the university put out, that basically said that, they were happy with how they basically put all the blame on these guys because they weren't welcome there, and they set up without getting without getting anyone's approval for it, and that their students were respectful and this and that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so you're immediately spinning the narrative that, hey, these guys are wrong, and whatever happens to them because they're wrong is acceptable.
We're so proud of our student body that they did not literally assassinate the people that were there. And that's the same as being respectful. Anything short of literally murder is respect in this paradigm.
Yeah. And I mean, look, they're crowding around the cars. They're trying to get out. They're blocking the car. There'll be they're throwing stuff at the car. And right here as you're going, they stop. They're yelling at them to leave, and then they stop the car in front, and they get out and start dancing around in front of them. This
is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it's childish.
What is this guy doing?
I'm late. Is this peaceful?
It's apparently extremely respectful.
This is what the university considers respectful. Yeah.
And credit on the cops on going there and saying, "Hey, you have to move. Like you can't. You're not doing this."
I've always thought showing the middle finger is a sign of respect. I always thought that. So it makes sense.
The one finger salute.
Yeah, it's a salute. Look at this.
Stephen Ranella always calls it the Michigan hello, but
oh man. Yeah, it is a sad state. I mean, Charlie Kirk said it. He said the left has no argument, so they will resort to violence. And they will be the violent side of the spectrum, which it's been proven so many times over the last 10 years.
I mean, they're yelling, they're trying to chase him out, and they're still running in front of the car and, still trying to stop. Like it's a completely embarrassing display if we were living in normal times and you said, hey, this is supposed to be a university where you come to learn and be challenged by ideas. And the university's running cover for it, or at least they were, because apparently, their initial statement talked about this being, that they were proud about their students being respectful and this and that. And, I think, and then in a subsequent statement, they kind of forgot to include that part.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
So
I don't know. Why is there no libertarian going around doing this stuff? I'd be super interested in that. Actually like making good arguments instead of the kind of half good arguments that these Republicans are making. I'd be super interested in that.
Why don't you do it then?
I'm not that well spoken. I can't do that.
Zane knows everything.
Zane would get shot in the head within like 2 colleges. Like that would be over.
No one's threatened by Zane. And he's extremely well read on Rothbard and stuff. So we can go.
PCC Network gets the funds. Would you go on a campus tour across the United States?
He's not saying no.
He's not saying no. Some quack says I nominate Zane with body armor.
The problem is if you're going to do something like that, you're just drawing lots of attention to yourself. And even if everyone was peaceful, like setting up a huge table with like signs and stuff and inviting people to come and debate you is, I mean, I suppose I'll say provocative in a good way. Like you are very intentionally drawing attention to yourself in a way that I'm not sure that really fits my personality.
That's fair. But it's also extremely good demonstration of allowing people to make their own decisions and have their own responsibility for their own actions. Like they chose to come up to the mic in these scenarios. So anything goes at that point, and most of their arguments are likely going to be terrible, and they're going to get embarrassed and they're going to start lashing out. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see somebody who actually had good ideas across the board and good arguments across the board do something like this. Like Charlie had good ideas across the board when it came to non-political things. But when it came to politics, he was,
like you could take a Spike Cohen and
correct, maybe.
Like you could take a Spike Cohen and drop him on a campus.
A Spike Cohen would be a good one.
The problem is Spike Cohen is already doing way more important stuff than that. Yeah, so it has to be someone. It has to be someone more famous than me, but less important than Spike Cohen.
Yeah,
You gotta get right in that sweet spot.
All right. Well, we'll everybody mull it over. Send in your best nominations. Grumpy says Zane and Mad Dog. I don't think that would go over.
Yeah,
very
join
well.
the Dollar Media Club and help fund the Zane campus tour.
Yeah, maybe we'll create our own fundraiser and call it the Zane Campus Tour and see how much money it generates. Oh, Shane Hazel. That'd be an interesting one.
Ooh.
I wonder if he would
spicy.
I wonder if he'd be open to that funding. That'd be interesting.
Call him up and see. Live on air.
Live on air. No, we're not going to put Shane live on air. Yeah, that's interesting. It would. I've never seen an actual libertarian do anything like this.
Are there any clips of Charlie Kirk debating like a paleo libertarian on like foreign policy or the Fed or
There's
whatever?
at least one clip of someone who identified themselves as a libertarian, maybe a couple of them, but I'm not sure if they were of the good paleo kind or the woke insane kind. But there was at least one that had like a Libertarian Party shirt on in one of the clips.
Let's see. I don't know. He didn't. Quick search doesn't say anything. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, let's see. Charlie Kirk owns a libertarian, socialist, and anarchist all in one. Those things seem antithetical.
Libertarian, socialist, anarchist, or libertarian, socialist, anarchist.
Should we watch this dumb video? It already has
Pull
an
it up.
AI
Might as
narrator.
well.
AI narrators are always good.
Called himself a libertarian and a socialist,
Oh,
Charlie
gosh.
Kirk instantly called out the hypocrisy. But what he said next made it even worse.
Okay, as a libertarian socialist, I don't believe in big government. I believe
You don't. So you're an anarchist. Yes. Wow. Here's a serious question, though. What's preventing you from doing what the Amish do? Get off the grid and just go live like that right now.
incredibly difficult to just pick up everything that you have, leave, and go.
So you want to tell me how to live?
No, I'm not telling you how to live.
You're okay with me having 5 houses and 6 yachts?
I'm not okay with you having them as if you are not using them.
Oh, not you. So all of a sudden you're now telling me how to live my life. I'm never going to tell you how to live your life, my friend. Why are you telling me how to live mine?
What I'm saying is that there are people that are literally starving, and that if you had extra houses and they literally just came and occupied the houses that you are not using, they are justified because you are being a massive toll.
Wow.
Yes.
So you don't believe in private property, right?
No, I do not.
So you're not a libertarian, my friend.
I'm not a libertarian in the capitalist sense.
So stop using the word because you're anything but.
When this neckbeard called himself a libertarian and socialist.
He calls him a neck.
Yeah, that was not the video I saw of a supposed libertarian. I didn't watch it. I just caught the other. But yeah, that's about the easiest takedown you have is when the libertarians start saying, yeah, you can't have this or that. And
Yeah.
he went right to property rights, and Charlie Kirk was completely right in that argument. And
Yeah.
an actual libertarian who understands property rights and everything like that is immune to, would have easily.
I mean,
well, the problem with libertarian socialism is that the logical endpoint is anarchy in the bad sense. So, like, the idea is we're not going to have the government enforce the law, but we still aren't going to respect private property. So it's pretty much up to each individual person to decide if they think your ownership of property is legitimate or not in their view. So, like, as this guy was saying in his example, in his judgment, if you have a house you're not living in, then he would be okay with someone going in there and living in it. But that means that each individual person can decide for themselves whether or not they are okay with how you're currently using your property, which, because there is no government to intervene in between all of these people, means that is anarchy in the way that most people would think about it, which is just everyone against everyone doing whatever the heck that they want.
Yeah, we know libertarian socialism is retarded.
yes, very, very retarded. All right. Anybody else got any thoughts on this campus tour that they've got going on? Sweet.
No, I've
Stay
seen
safe.
some videos over the past couple of days of them hitting some other ones, but this one kind of really stood out today.
Yeah, it really did. All right. Let's move on to telecom threat. There you go.
Breaking news this morning as the Secret Service has dismantled a telecommunications threat right here in the New York State tri-state area.
All right, we're breaking it down this morning with Good Day Wake Up anchor Dan Bowen's. What do you know so far?
Well, Rosanna and Kurt, some security experts are saying they've never seen a network as extensive as this before. And this morning, the Secret Service revealing a major security bust right here in New York, a covert network of devices capable of shutting down cell service right as the UN General Assembly is underway. Unclear if those two things are connected.
So this news report just repeats a lot of the same stuff over and over again. They don't actually get into anything all that interesting. We can keep playing it. But I love how he said a covert network. But basically, like, the router I'm currently running is a covert network because it's not public and no one can see it. Like, there's no covert just means private in this case. Like, covert network, that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, in some way, I'm guessing what they're trying to get at is that this wasn't just like your average Wi-Fi thing. I mean, it had what I think it said 300 SIM servers and like 10,000 SIM cards or something.
Yeah.
Now, one question I have on this.
Yeah.
How is this in the Secret Service's jurisdiction?
Dude, that was my first dadgum question. How on
because
earth?
Trump was traveling up there and it was near the UN, or
why is the Secret Service looking into this? Why is the SS looking into this? You know, I don't understand. This is not in their purview. Just to, like they found these things, or they got the first information on them like in March, and they've been running an operation since then on this. Isn't their job just to protect the president and protect high-ranking officials? This is a
government agency, so their job is to do whatever they want.
Oh. Well, but they also are in charge of counterfeit money.
These are the devices federal
wait, what? The Secret Service is in charge of counterfeit money?
They're in charge of investigating counterfeit
why
crimes.
That was actually their original purpose. They were originally formed for the sole purpose of tracking down counterfeiters.
Really?
And then they added on protecting the president onto that after Lincoln's assassination.
But how that has anything to do with this, I don't know, and that's what I'm curious on.
General Assembly, of course, now underway here in New York. President Trump in the city this morning.
Yeah, they're really trying to make it seem like it was going to be some type of weird telecommunications attack on
could have
the
caused
UN.
Massive disruption to government and emergency communications. Some experts say this network could have sent as many as 1 million text messages a minute, potentially disrupting all kinds of issues here. The special agent in charge of the Secret Service, New York Field, actually put out a video just a few minutes ago.
Trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
This network had the potential to disable cell phone towers and essentially shut down the cellular network in New York City. These devices were concentrated
Someone tell me
within
this guy
35
isn't
miles
AI.
of the global meeting of the United Nations General Assembly, now underway in New York City.
This is an AI video.
Given the timing, location, and proximity, and potential
how
for
his face
significant
moves.
disruptions to the New York telecom system, we moved quickly to disrupt this network.
Come on. That was an AI video.
It's funny when I see a picture of that where it's just like some boxes on the floor, and then you have the pictures of like actual racks of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's
that one. Like, that
yeah.
one's okay. But like, yeah, these are the ones where it's like, oh, dadgum. Like completely different. Completely different budgets on some of these.
Now, the second question I have on this is, this was found in an apartment, I believe, or something, right? So whose name is on the lease? And, you know, I have my suspicions of what country might be behind it, because this is obviously nation state level in my mind.
Well, first of all, what could you possibly do that anyone would care about with the UN? Who cares? Like, you're going to disrupt telecommunications. The only way I could see this being useful in a big spectacle way is if there is some type of an attack and they jam all the lines.
It's probably not anything to do with the UN particularly. It's an opportunity where you have a lot of world leaders all in the same spot. So if you just want to mess with them and cause chaos, then messing up the cellular network in a place where a lot of world leaders are would accomplish that.
I want to know how far away. I want to know how far away these apartments or this apartment was from the UN building, because just being in New York, I feel like that's not enough. I want to know if it was close or like if it was in the same cell tower radius as where the UN building was.
Does it list exactly where it was?
I didn't see I didn't see an address or anything. Let's go back to the beginning.
Or a neighborhood. I thought it may have mentioned a neighborhood in one article.
Been telling you about breaking news this morning as the Secret Service has dismantled a telecommunications threat right here in the New York State tri-state area.
All right, we're breaking it down this morning with Good Day Wake Up anchor Dan Bones. What do you know so far?
Well, Rosanna and Kurt, some security experts are saying they've never seen a network as extensive as this before. And this morning, the Secret Service revealing a major security bust right here in New York, a covert network of devices capable
of been a network this big.
Right as the UN General Assembly is underway. Unclear if those two things are connected, but it is a possibility. And we have brand new images into our newsroom this morning.
I don't think they say it.
I'm looking on my phone to see if there's a. All it says is it's within 35 miles, which doesn't really say anything.
Yeah. No, that didn't say anything at all.
A network of SIM cards and SIM servers and cards was found at multiple locations, including in Armonk, New York, and across the river in New Jersey. So it was multiple sites, apparently.
Yeah, I thought it was multiple sites. Where is United Nations in New York? Here, I'll let everybody just watch my search, because that's what everybody wants to see. United Nations building, headquarters, right there. I mean, okay.
Prime real estate.
So it's right across the street from, or right across the river from Long Island City. It's Midtown, Manhattan. East. Yeah. It's nowhere near New Jersey.
Well, it's not that far away. Manhattan's not super wide.
That's fair. And cell towers cover quite a range. Although in a city, I feel like that range is limited, extensive.
No, there's multiple towers, but I mean, they all kind of end up going back through the same servers anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's where the UN building is. Should we drop a little guy down there and just look at it in awe for a second? What the heck?
That looks about
right. That was pretty funny.
You dropped it on the tunnel.
I guess so. Let's see if I can drop it not on the tunnel.
Oh, there it is.
Which one is it? How do you know?
The one on the left.
That one?
Yes.
Okay, let's try to stay above ground. No! Do you think they do this on purpose?
No, go back to the map, because there's drop points that you could probably get a better view of.
No, I want to try to avoid this. Yes, how about that? No! Gummit, man. Oh, whatever. Yeah, that was a huge.
You see, there's
failure.
all the little, yeah.
There we go. Man, what an ugly building. Goodness gracious. Can they not make anything pretty these days? Oh my gosh. Every time I click, screw that.
They can't. If
they
you've
yeah.
not looked into brutalism,
I hate
you
brutalism.
should.
I hate it. There was a movie that won the Oscar because it was about a Jewish guy from the Holocaust who was a brutalist architect or artist or something.
And that's the only explanation I couldn't come up with of why anyone would become a brutalist architect.
We had one building where I went to college that was very, very much brutalist.
Yeah.
And I think it was a secret bunker too, because it was the way it was laid out was it was built on the edge of a hillside. So if you came in from the ground level, you were on the, I want to say the 5th floor, and it went up to like 9 or 10. So when you walk in, it was 4 hallways branching off to the sides. You know, front hallway right, left, and back hallway left, right. And when you got down to the bottom floors, all of a sudden it got rid of all those and ended up in some. It just was like one hallway, and there was one tunnel where it was under the ground partially, where like you could get to the other side of the grass field and come out on the other side of the hill through a tunnel there. So, you know, there was stairwells in that tunnel, and I never fully explored it, but there were signs on the first floor like saying there was no amateurs.
You should have fully explored it. That would have been more interesting.
It was
this might be a topic for another time, but while we're on brutalism, I mean, it's like up until, like, because I want to get into the philosophy of this a little bit, because like up until 100 years ago, everyone knew what beauty was, and everyone recognized that the job of artists and architects and writers and people engaged in the arts was to make beautiful things. 100 years ago, there was, you know, around that time, it started to be more, well, that's not what we should be doing. Instead, what we should be doing is making things that are not beautiful on purpose in order to push boundaries and, you know, make fun of the concept of beauty and to make people like be confused about it and, you know, have to like ponder everything that we're doing to try to get some kind of deep meaning out of the nonsense that we're doing.
Everything after Art Deco was a mistake.
And that's how you end up with giant concrete boxes that people think are fantastic art, because the goal is not to be beautiful anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. We can definitely have a longer discussion on this another day when I've actually pondered it for a while.
I believe that
Tucker Carlson has these complaints too.
I believe the building I talked about won like some architecture award the year it was done. Yeah, it's like, this building is absolutely fucking hideous. And the funny part, it's got like a turtle head on the front of it. Like, at least that's how I kind of referred to it, which was the big lecture hall in there. So coming off of like the 8th floor was just a giant box hanging in the air. Yeah, it was not a great building, but I had many a lecture in that building. And yeah, like I said, anything after Art Deco was kind of a mistake.
All right.
Art Deco was kind of the...
Well, y'all, it's that time. There we go. Breaking here. Yeah, there we go.
My markers are out, and I have not gotten new ones yet.
Here we go. Zane and Nader, take it away, brother.
All right, everyone. Welcome to yet another week of Libations Trivia. As usual, there's trivia in 3 rounds. Round 1, 8 questions, 1 point each. Round 2, 6 questions, 2 points each. Round 3, 4 questions, 3 points each. If you are in the audience, please comment with your answer, and we will take the first one that is not obviously a joke. Tonight's categories. Round 1, we've got Turn, Turn, Turn. Round 2, Hope Springs Eternal. And round 3, Bagpipes.
Oh, boy. Love it. Let's go.
You should know a little bit about bagpipes.
We'll see.
Although where I went to college, also, I think it's the only place in America that has a bagpipe degree.
What?
I'm sure that's an answer on your question, so I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Question 1. The lyrics to the 1965 song Turn, Turn, Turn by the Byrds are mostly drawn from the 3rd chapter of the Book of Ecclesiastes. The first line is, a time to be born, a time to die. Name any subsequent pair of times mentioned in the song.
Oh no. My marker's running out. Okay.
All right, Jake.
So you're going to have to call me first every time because this is what I wrote.
Ooh, that's rough. I cannot see that.
I know. I said a time to sow and a time to reap.
Nick.
Time to drink and a time to be sober. And right now is a time to drink. I don't know this song.
Unfortunately, Jake, the second line of the song is a time to plant, a time to reap.
I literally wrote plant first, and I was like, there's no way the Bible used plant.
I'm sure there is a translation of Ecclesiastes that says sow instead of plant, but I was asking for the song lyrics. I'll give you a half a point.
Thank you. So much better. I guess it's because they use sow later on in a different meaning. Time to rend,
that's right.
a time to sow. Yeah.
Question 2. Here is DJ D-Sol at his turntable. DJ D-Sol is the alter ego of David Solomon, the CEO of what investment bank? You can listen to this guy's music on Spotify, by the way.
Yeah, I have no idea. But you can call on me now.
Jake.
Goldman Sachs.
Nick.
I said Solomon Brothers.
It is Goldman Sachs.
Hey! The audience got it right, too. For some reason, I thought it was Goldman Sachs, but I didn't know.
Question 3. What type of building, used to store locomotives, is typically constructed on the perimeter of a turntable?
Go for it, Zane.
Jake.
A barn.
Nick.
A roundhouse.
Oh my gosh.
This question brought to you by Tylenol. It is the roundhouse.
I'm bummed about my marker.
Audience says depot, which is not quite correct. So
no, depot could be kind of a little more generic.
Yeah.
Question 4. The Turnagain Arm, a northern branch of the Cook Inlet and abutting the Kenai Peninsula, is in what U.S. state?
Holy mother of mercy. Kenai Peninsula. All right, go for it.
Jake.
Michigan.
Nick.
I know this because I was just there. It's Alaska.
Ugh.
It's Kenai Peninsula.
Also, audience also says Alaska. It's Alaska.
I got some good pictures along the Turnagain Arm. And there's also the Knik Arm on the north.
Question 5. What root vegetable, grown both for its taproot and its leafy greens, are white on the portion grown below the ground and purple on the portion exposed to the sun?
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Turnip.
Nick.
Turnip.
Audience also says turnip. It is the turnip.
Yeah.
Question 6. The majority of the lyrics of what 2013 song, released by DJ Snake and Lil Jon, are just Lil Jon repeating the name of the song?
I mean, I think I know, but I'm not sure. All right, Zane.
Jake.
Turn down for what?
Nick.
Turn down for what?
Audience says what you gonna do, but it is turned down for what?
Yes. Turn down for what?
Question 7. A pilgrim hat is the logo for the turnpike of what state? It is concurrent with Interstate 90 for its entire route.
Wait. Pilgrim has the logo for the turnpike of what state? Is concurrent. Got it. I guess go.
Jake.
Pennsylvania.
Nick.
Pennsylvania would be a keystone. I'm going with Massachusetts.
Ugh.
Audience also says Pennsylvania, but it is Mass Pike.
Come on, the obvious answer here.
Here, let me show you some respect. There you go.
Everything in Pennsylvania is keystone shaped, not pilgrim shaped.
I don't even know what keystone shaped is. That's not a thing.
It is.
Like the beer.
The beer's named that. No, come on.
Go
Learn
ahead.
what a keystone is.
Question 8. Return to me, and I will return to you, says the Lord of Hosts. Is chapter 3, verse 7 of what book? The final book of the Old Testament. In Hebrew, the name of this book means my messenger. Jake is about to be exposed if he does not know this.
I am legit about to be exposed. I gotta take my headphones off and stop hearing this music. Dadgummit. I'm gonna be exposed. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Malachi.
Nick.
I don't know. Fucking Turner. I don't know. I was just putting something. I know it's wrong, but I had to say something with Turn in it because that's the theme.
The audience says Solomon, but Jake managed to pull it out. It is Malachi.
Thank goodness.
How is that Turn related?
The turn was in the question.
Oh,
Return.
In the quote.
I didn't catch.
There are some translations that say turn unto instead of return, but anyhow, at the end of round 1, I have Nick with 5, Jake with 4.5, and the audience with 3.
Hey, Nick, we're both
Jake's
beating the
hanging in there.
audience. How about that?
We haven't got to the big points yet, so we'll see how that goes.
Here we go.
Round 2, Hope Springs Eternal. Question 1. Hope Springs Eternal is a quotation from An Essay on Man, a 1734 poem by what English writer? He is also known for his satirical works The Rape of the Lock and The Dunciad.
Dadgum. Know the quote, don't know the writer. Go ahead.
Jake.
Shakespeare.
Nick.
Sir Robert Wellingham the VII. My marker's all fucked too. So
Dadgum,
this would be Alexander Pope.
Got it. I never would have gotten that. Never ever.
Question 2. In Greek mythology, a multitude of curses were released on mankind when what container was opened? After the curses went out, only hope remained inside.
I'm not.
Jake is really freaking out from the music tonight.
I am. I know this, and I cannot think of it.
I hate when that happens.
Dadgummit. Go ahead.
Jake.
Pandora's Box.
Nick.
Pandora's Box.
Audience also says Pandora's Box, which is correct.
I just kept saying box over and over again in my dadgum head. Couldn't think of it.
Question 3. The following quote is from what movie character? If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Go ahead.
Jake.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Nick.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. It's hard to.
Audience also says Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is correct. Question 4. The following quote is from a politician in what movie? Hope. It is the only thing stronger than fear. A little hope is effective. A lot of hope is dangerous. A spark is fine as long as it's contained, so contain it.
Politician in what movie? Can you give
a
us
little bit of a hint, which is that this film came up recently on a trivia that Jake wrote. Which will mean that Jake will not be benefited by this hint at all.
Can you not give us like a decade that this movie was made?
Okay, I'll give you a roundabout hint in that vein, which is that if I told you what the decade was, I think that would make the question very easy.
Huh. Man, that makes it more enigmatic. Dadgum. I don't know. Go ahead.
Jake.
Manchurian Candidate. I don't freaking know.
I think it's the president from the Hunger Games. I think it's President Snow.
It's definitely going to be that.
The audience says Vice, but Nick gets it. It's the Hunger Games.
Dadgummit.
Question 5. What two four-letter words complete this sentence from Abraham Lincoln's State of the Union address from December 1862? We shall nobly save or meanly lose the blank blank hope of earth. It has been subsequently quoted by many other presidents.
We shall nobly save or meanly lose. Go ahead.
Jake.
Long lost.
Nick.
That says last remaining.
Remaining famous four-letter word. Audience doesn't have anything yet, but the answer is last best. I'll give
Nick a half a point.
1 point.
Yeah, I get half credit for saying last.
Question 6. In your hearts, honor Christ the Lord as holy, always being prepared to make a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is in you, yet do it with gentleness and respect. The above is from the first letter of what apostle?
All right. Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Paul.
Nick.
Yeah, it says Paul.
This is in fact Peter.
It's one of the two.
So many.
At the end of round 2, audience also says Paul on that one. At the end of round 2, I've got Nick with 12, Jake with 8.5, and the audience with 7. So Nick has a very real chance of being the audience tonight.
So do I.
Jake might too. Let's see if we know bagpipes, which, like I said, I went to, I think, the only school with a bagpipe degree.
I don't even know what that would entail, but okay.
Question 1. The bagpipes are a member of what family of musical instruments?
Go ahead, I guess.
Jake.
Wind? Something wind.
Nick.
Woodwind.
Woodwind. God damn it.
Audience also says wind. I'm actually going to award the points for wind because I think woodwinds are often commonly referred to just as wind instruments.
Yeah, but brass instruments would be considered wind too.
No, I think when people say wind instruments, they're referring to woodwinds specifically. So I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Question 2. What term refers to the part of the bagpipe where the piper places their fingers to create the melody?
Go ahead.
Jake.
The nips.
Nick.
I said the stickero.
This would be the chanter.
Wow. Never. You could have paid me all the money in the world and given me all the time in the world, and I never would have gotten that.
I did not major in bagpipes, so I do not. Besides,
You only
seeing
had
them
a
lot,
minor?
I don't. I've never touched a bagpipe, so I only seen them a lot.
Question 3. The abbreviation RHCP refers to what Scottish Celtic rock band, famous for both traditional tunes and Highland bagpipe covers of modern pop music?
I guess. I don't know.
Jake.
Red-haired Christian people.
Nick.
I'm going out on a limb and saying the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
Oh, that's hilarious. I hope it is.
That would be correct.
No freaking way. That is absurd.
Audience says right Highland Celtic Pipers.
That's a good guess.
But it is the Red Hot Chili Pipers, who I would definitely recommend listening to.
That's so funny. Nick sealed it.
Question 4. Bagpipes are often incorporated into modern performances of what hymn, composed by former slave trader turned abolitionist John Newton in 1772?
Go ahead, Zane.
Jake.
Amazing Grace.
Nick.
Yeah, I said Amazing Grace as well.
F.
Audience also says Amazing Grace. It is Amazing Grace.
Hey.
Which means at the end of trivia, we have, shockingly, the audience coming last with 13.
Might be
Jake
a
coming in
first.
second with 14.5, and Nick walking away with it with 20 points.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for playing Libations Trivia. Sucks to suck. Am I right, Nick?
Yeah. Is that the first time the audience has come in last?
I think it's the first time the audience has come in last. I'm going to relish this the rest of the night.
Because they didn't know the Red Hot Chili Pipers, which I didn't, but I kind of worked it out in my head. I'm like, that's got to
really
be a
should
thing,
have
right?
thought that through. That would have been such a. Once I went down that road, I would have gotten it. I just didn't even try to go down that road. So that's freaking stupid. But yeah, good job, Nick. Good job to both of us for demolishing the dumb audience. That's right. All right. Thank y'all for playing. We play that every week. Most of the time it's Zane with the questions, but once a month it's me when Zane is out on every third Thursday. So
you don't have to listen to those episodes.
You 100% have to listen to them.
Even Zane listens to them.
The trivia is way more the everyman trivia. You know, it's dumbed down for the people.
Sometimes it's harder than Zane's.
Oh, that's because I go on very specific topics. Zane's topics encompass broad. Zane's themes encompass broad topics. So like it can go to a bunch of different places within one round.
Yeah,
that's how you know I'm a real trivia craftsman.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, the whole turn thing and today, or when he'll just write haikus or something.
Yeah, I did write some stuff for one of them. I came up with some interesting things sometimes, but
oh yeah, you wrote like the movie poetry.
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
time. Yeah, that was what? How shall I describe what I thought of that category?
Awesome. All right, everyone. Let's get into the most fun story from this past week, which is somebody put up a statue of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein holding hands in front of the Capitol, which I just think is the absolute best troll I've ever seen. There's another picture. In honor of Friendship Month, we celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein. Voiceover, there must be more to life than having everything.
What do you get someone that has it all?
Oh my gosh. Y'all, apparently this statue was taken down rather quickly, but I mean, how incredible is that photo? Like that photo is like perfect placement. Great timing. I wish the cars weren't there and the two people weren't there, but other than that, it like this almost could be AI generated. I'm very proud of whoever did this. I'm sure it was some crazy lefty, but I don't really care. I think it's hilarious.
Do the lefties care about Epstein? I thought they did.
They didn't until recently. They didn't care before, but now they care.
Yeah, now that Trump like backed off on it, now they care because they know there's a there.
Yes. And I guess these things have been happening for a while, which this is in London. Somebody projected on the side of a castle the picture of Trump and Epstein hanging out together.
Yeah, this was right ahead. This was like last week or something ahead of his state visit to Windsor.
Oh, it's so funny. They also did this weird dictator approved
Okay, that's
thing.
stupid.
That's stupid lefty stuff.
Yeah, that's stupid lefty stuff. But this one is one of the best political trolls I've seen in a very long time. The coordination to set up a statue, I don't care if it's like cardboard. The coordination to do that is very impressive. Yeah,
they did pull permits for it apparently. So
what? Really?
That's the reason why it was apparently taken down, or at least that's what the National Park Service was saying, is that the permits were only until 8 p.m. on Sunday or something.
Oh.
And that's why they were taken down versus, they thought they were going to leave it up for a week or something.
Interesting. I got to say, it's less cool that they got a permit for it. It's far less cool.
Yeah, see, the statue was removed because it was not compliant with the permit issued.
That's slightly
now
more
whether
cool.
whether that was, whether it was misrepresented or, the National Park Service was just kind of told, get it out of here. Who knows? But
she not received the customary 24-hour notice prior to the statue's removal. She also argued that the move was highly unorthodox and said the revocation of a permit is not something she has experienced before. Interesting. That is interesting. Huh.
I mean, with this kind of stuff, it almost doesn't even matter how long it stays up. The important thing was that it happened, and now it's all over the internet.
Yes, completely agree. I mean, I love whoever did this. It's incredible.
I think the people who did the Windsor Castle one got arrested.
What? Oh, yeah. I guess they're what? I don't know. What would they be getting arrested for? Defacing a landmark?
It's not defacing because it was just literally a projector.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's England, so like, anything you say gets you arrested there now.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I just thought it was absolutely incredible. Like, people are with the whole Tylenol thing. I keep seeing people just tweeting out, "Nice try, Tylenol. Not distracted. Release the Epstein files," which I thought was hilarious.
No, they need to cure. They need to cure autism so people aren't so fixated on it.
That's fair. Yeah, I didn't know people had been putting different Epstein-related things up around the world. I thought that's pretty stinking funny.
I mean, in England, they could have also at least thrown Prince Andrew up there, since that's a whole thing. And I think something else came out on that with his ex-wife as well.
Oh, interesting.
Past week.
Yeah.
But I'll give credit that this is a lot better than like the London Trump baby balloons they pulled in the first term.
Oh my gosh, yeah, those were stupid.
Those were stupid. This is at least funny and
well thought out, really, really good. Yeah, far better than that dictator approved one. Yeah. So bravo to the artist out there who did that. We support you. Yeah,
we support this. I don't know. We don't know who the artist is to say we support everything they do.
No, we support you doing this particular act. Next time, don't get a permit and just throw it up and see how long it stays. That'd be more fun. Okay. Yeah, we don't have any other topics for the evening. I just thought that was a good one to end on. We're going to be in the wind down now. Go over to peacefulsea.network and check out our other shows. Free Georgia Podcast, Philosophical Fall Guy, Wrexham Texan is on hiatus at the moment. We got the Junto Podcast, Banish Big Brother. We got a whole bunch of stuff over there with more stuff to come.
Is it out of season for Wrexham Texan?
No, it's not out of season. I've just been overwhelmed with things at the moment. And since I'm the only person on that show, I can do whatever I want with it. We are we're starting the process of releasing Peaceful Warrior Ranch, which will end up being a docu-series and podcast that features us building a community off grid here in the mountains of Montana. And we launched our Instagram account, Peaceful Warrior Ranch. You can go check it out. And eventually we will be releasing a docu-series with a podcast attached to it. But for now, you can follow along with our progress over on Instagram, Peaceful Warrior Ranch.
It's definitely not a cult.
Definitely not a cult. Wow. Even Grumpy says Philosophical Fall Guy is pretty good. Love that. Thank you, Grumpy. Philosophical Fall Guy is one of the best stuntmen in the industry, interviewing stunt coordinators and high-profile stunt performers, and kind of asking them questions kind of around their mentality behind risking life and limb for movies. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but stunt people do die from time to time and definitely get severely injured pretty regularly. So it's a dangerous job for something like making movies. It's kind of an interesting dynamic to hear them describe what their mentality is and like how they approach their career. So go check that out. And we got any other business before we head on to the funnies?
I've got a little bit, if you want to indulge me for a second, which is I'm just gonna force you to. Did either of you two watch any of the Charlie Kirk memorial service thing that they had?
I have not.
I watched a tiny bit of it.
Well, I do just have to say, if you haven't seen it, Erica Kirk's speech is legitimately one of the most moving things I've ever seen in my whole life. Okay. And I know we are a very jokey show, but seriously, I would encourage everyone to watch that.
Interesting. I would absolutely watch it. I almost tuned in, but then I got called away from my computer. So, I heard nothing but good things about her speech and about a lot of the ceremony. Actually, it sounds like there was some shenanigans that went on, and dumb things that were said. But overall, it seemed like it was pretty good. Go check that out, and I will as well. Nick, you got anything before we hit the funnies?
Yeah, I don't think we covered this, but right before I took that little break to go up to Alaska, the Savannah Bananas were in Pittsburgh, and I went to the game. And I know you've you've talked shit before, Jake, and I just want to say it was a great experience, and they know how to have a good time.
Fair enough.
The game was at like I think it started at 7, and we were down there around 1:00 to get into the pregame party plaza.
What?
And and then so I think gates might have opened at 2:00 or something, and we went in and hung out there. They had the meet the players thing, and then they did a whole show pregame where they had the dad bod cheer squad and a whole bunch of other people singing and dancing and everything, and then all the players did some giant march through the crowd to music, and then it's like a 2-hour break or something to get everyone into the stadium from that point. And the Bananas ended up winning. And the first night in Pittsburgh they had Mr. Beast there giving away money.
I did see clips of that,
which was a little random. And then second night they had some of the more legendary Pirate players and stuff show up and hit.
So funny. Yeah,
it was a good
I don't
time.
know. If someone paid for me, I'd go to a game. But
they're not expensive.
Don't care. I'm not paying my own money until I know that I'm actually going to enjoy it. Like it's something that I've been so vehemently against that somebody has to pay for me to go. I
think you're being a little bit old and crotchety. Like, how can you look at that and think?
Zach.
How can you look at that and think? I'm not sure that I'll have fun going to that.
I like baseball.
This is baseball, but fun.
Yeah, not interested.
See, you can start a new podcast. You can start the Texam Tailgater podcast and just become a super fan for the Texam Tailgaters, which is who they played whenever they were in Pittsburgh, was the Texas Tailgaters.
There's a team called the Texas Tailgaters?
Yes.
Interesting.
They're up to 4 teams now with 2 more coming for next year. But the Texas Tailgaters have their own band made up of players, and they were fairly good.
Well, this is all very interesting. If someone buys me a ticket, I'll go to a game. All right,
buddy. If you're there, get on it. Buddy will take you.
Yeah, Zach says he loves baseball and bananas. I'm sure you do, Zach. I'm sure you do. All right, y'all. That'll do it for this evening. We're going to round out the show with watching some funny videos that I've found throughout the week, or that other people have found throughout the week, like this first one.
And if you're in the Discord, you can post them and they can get on the show. And
you can join our Discord by going to peacefulseed.network and joining the Dollar Media Club. That'll get you access to some things behind the scenes with more stuff coming, including our first feature film, which we're in pre-production for at this very moment. So, head on over to peacefulseed.network. Check it out. All right, y'all. Let's watch some ridiculous videos, shall we?
I cracked up laughing when I saw it.
You got ratioed so hard.
Yeah, I very rarely comment on Instagram Reels, but I had to leave a comment on this one. And I'm pretty sure you can guess what it says.
I'm pretty sure I can guess what it says.
Jason, right. Charlie.
Here's an NFL related one. If you don't know it, sorry.
Cats in the cradle and the silver. And the ball blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when. But we'll get together then, Dad. Donkey!
Oh my gosh. Good night, Grumpy. Peace, brother. All right. Here's the longest one of the evening. Here you go.
What is the one thing that every race, religion, nationality has in common?
Leadership.
Wrong. One thing everyone has in common: ugly people, right? Every race has ugly people. The beauty of ugly is that it doesn't discriminate. Write that down, please. Should we treat ugly people the same as attractive people?
Yes, we should.
The actual correct answer is no. Ugly people, or fuggos as they're more commonly known, are more sensitive. Let's do a role play. You're ugly. I say to you, how are you? What would you say back?
I'm fine.
But see, you wouldn't say that because you're not fun. Here's the power of are you okay? If you say are you okay, they know that you see their struggle for what it truly is. They know that you know that they know that they're ugly. Should we be friends with ugly people?
Yes, we should.
That's right. Choosing friends based on how they look is superficial. It's wrong. You don't choose friends based on how they look. It's about what's inside. Besides, the fuggos and the fuggalinas of the world, if you will, they make great sidekicks. They're always down to hang out. JD, what are you doing tonight at 3 a.m.?
Nothing.
Nothing, right? Always available. Let's conclude here. What is ugly?
Murderer.
Bigot. No.
Racist.
No.
Robbers.
No. Check out the guy to your left. And the most important thing that I want you to remember, all races have, say it with me, fugs. Fugs. Zoom in on fugs, please. What?
All right, there you go.
Do you have any chapstick?
Yeah, here.
Apply liberally. Equal
Oh, that was a good one. And then classic meme from Parks and Rec. There you go.
I have done nothing wrong. Ever.
I know this. And I love you.
I love you too, Daddy. Money, please. My money.
Perfect summation of the relationship between the United States and Israel. All right. That'll be it for tonight, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Liberty Libations number 144. We love that y'all watch. We love doing the show. We can't wait for next week. We'll see you then. Peace.